craziest rumor you heard about yourself?
The craziest rumor I heard about myself is that I was dating young Dolph. Craziest rumor. Rest in peace, Dolph.
And respectfully asking you this, was that true or false?
That was false. We were good friends. We were not dating.
Have you addressed this publicly already, or is this your first time?
This is my first time.
And how did that rumor begin?
He was on my live one day, and the viewers seen it before me, and all of a sudden my fucking comments were flooded with dolphins. And he texted me, and he was like, oh my God, all of these people just see me on your live. And I was like, well, get the fuck off of there. Stay off there. And he's like, yeah, I'm not going to fuck with that no more. I'm like, yeah, don't fuck with that. So then it was like, everybody was like, oh, shit, do y'all see Dolph? Do y'all see Dolph? She must be fucking Dolph. She must fuck with him. I'm like, oh, fuck. I hate that you did that. But it was cool, though. It was cool. We laughed about it.
Do you want to explain the actual scenario that took place?
I mean, shit, after he told me about it, I'm just like, why did you do that? Why did you go on my live? And he was like, I don't know. I just wanted to feel normal. I just wanted to see what the fuck he was doing. I'm like, I wasn't even doing shit. And he was like, damn, I thought I was low. I'm like, you wasn't fucking low. It was like 500 people on that live that day. And he didn't even comment. That's what's crazy. But you know, people's names come up when they join the live. And so I'm like, I didn't even notice it. So when the dolphins came, I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then he texts me on the side like, damn, they see me on your live. I'm like, don't go back on there no more. But
okay, yeah. I was just trying to clarify here because didn't know if you meant that he actually joined your profile with his profile, or was he in real life making an appearance?
No, we did not share the live. He just got on the live. His name came up there and people seen it. He was not on my live. No. I don't think I've actually been on live with a man at all. I'm not sharing my live with no man.
Now, what is your policy on rumors?
Believe what you want to believe.
And why sweep it under the rug? Why let people talk, so to speak? Or excuse me, let me repeat that. Why sweep it under the rug, so to speak, and let people talk?
Because I think at this grown-ass age and the profession that I'm in, nothing anybody says to me moves me. Doing reality TV, being a sex worker, you have to have tough skin. And I think my skin is pretty thick. I've been through enough shit to not let a lot of things bother me. And I'm not going to lie, sometimes I do get a little messy, and I cater to the drama because at the end of the day, in the profession that I'm in, especially when it comes to reality TV, that's what the people want. They want the drama. They want the messy. And sometimes I just give them what they want. But for the most part, I just be like, fuck those rumors. Like, if you think I fucked that nigga, okay, cool. Like, you think I'm a hoe? Cool. I don't give a fuck.
Now, were you always like this, or was this something you grew into?
Nah, I was always like this. I think that when I started dancing, it just was more in the forefront because I'm just like, if I could get completely naked and a hole in the wall inside little Raleigh, North Carolina, where I went to high school, where people could walk in this strip club and be like, I fucking remember you from AP Math. I'm like, don't shit bother me. I don't give a fuck. Y'all done seen it all. I done it all. It's cool.
And the live is in reference to Instagram?
The live is definitely in reference to Instagram.
Care to share your screen name for those in the audience getting to know you for the very first time as well?
So my Instagram is Egypt_Cario. That is also my tag on Twitter, as well as OnlyFans.
Do you remember how you met young Dolph for the first time?
How did I meet young Dolph for the first time? I think that he slid in my DMs, and We exchanged. Actually, this was on Snapchat. This was Snapchat days. So this was probably like 2013. And like for those that don't know, Snapchat was like the originator of like the creeping social medias. Like you could get on Snapchat and say some shit and disappear like it never happened. So that's originally where we met, and I think it was because he was just like, I don't like being caught up. I don't like my business being out in the streets. So to him, it seemed like a little bit safer to be talking on Snapchat. We exchanged numbers, but even when we exchanged numbers, he would always like text me from his email. He's like, "Oh, I just don't know if I could trust you yet. Like, I don't trust these females." And I'm like, "Nah, I'm cool as fuck. Like, I'm not trying to be on no weird shit with you. I just thought he was a cool ass nigga. I liked his music. I was really trying to get in one of his music videos, and that was really all for me. Obviously, I knew that he was interested in me, but for me, it was like, look, I want the opportunity. Like, I'm trying to be in the video. I'm trying to be, in the clubs. He used to come to Charlotte all the time. Like, his section is a section you want to be in. So that's what it was for me. We built a really good relationship, and we were friends for a long time. Never was physical, never anything of that nature.
And did you express interest in being in one of his music videos? Did that ever happen?
I did express interest, and I'm like, I just seen a music video of you the other day, and I think it was the Double Dose twins were in it. And I'm like, I think I could do that too. Like, if you have them in your video, I know I could do it. And he's like, I wouldn't want you in my video, though. Like, I don't think I want that for you. And I'm like, at that point, I was like, okay, he might like me. I was like, why wouldn't you want me to be in your video? So I'm like, okay, he might got a little bit of respect for me. Okay, I could fuck with that. But I didn't end up being in that video. Mm-mm.
Now, why didn't anything ever transpire romantically? Why did it stay platonic, it sounds like here, based on your description?
I just think that the conversation was just so organic and it was so homey, that it kind of just naturally friend-zoned itself. I was in a situation at the time, and I was upfront with him about that, and he respected it. And he even just, like, invited me, and I was at the time dating a girl. He invited me and her to his show. Like, do you and your girl want to come to my show? I'm like, damn. I'm like, we're not even in town, but next time we'll pull up on you.
And did you eventually get to attend any of his shows?
I didn't get to attend any of his shows. I was going to go to that last Rolling Loud that he did, but I don't remember what happened. I didn't end up going. And I did speak to him a couple of weeks before he died. And I'm like, fuck. I should have just went to the concert. I should have seen him then. I didn't, obviously, no one knows that was going to be the last time I seen or talked to him, but I hate that I didn't go to that concert.
So do you recall the actual last correspondence you had with him, and how long, apparently, before that took place to his death?
I think it was like 3 weeks. And I was saying, like, oh, I'm coming to Atlanta. He's like, oh, okay, well, when you get here, like, let me know. Like, let's hang out. And I was like, okay, cool. And it was just so crazy that I was talking to my cousin, and she's like, oh, I don't think that when you go to Atlanta, you should hang out with him. And I'm like, why? Like, we're cool. Like, we're good people. And she's like, anything could happen. Like, you don't know who he has issues with. You don't want to be in a car with him and be at a stoplight and somebody, like, run down on y'all or something. And then 3 weeks fucking later, he gets murdered in his car. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy as fuck. Because I could have been in that car. Thank God I wasn't. But yeah.
What was your cousin's reaction to that?
She was like, see? It was literally like a I told you so moment. Like, you know, even though that happened in his hometown, she's like, that could have happened in Atlanta. When you were just hanging out. You could have just been in the car smoking a blunt with a nigga and his car got shot up. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. You're right.
So just for further clarification, you were in communication with him, but you never physically met him.
Never physically met him. We had been in a couple places together at the same time. Not together, but in the same vicinity. the night that he was in Charlotte at a Cameo when his tour bus got shot up 100 times. I was in the club. But we never physically were just us two together at any time. Nope.
So even in that moment, was there a plan for you two to actually physically see each other, just say hi, dap up, whatever, a hug, whatever?
Not really, because even when he had came to Charlotte and he was in Cameo that night, I'm just like, oh, it's so much shit going on. Like, I know you're gonna be here later, but I know we ain't gonna get to see each other. I just fucking watch you from the sidelines or whatever. So he was like, yeah, you know this shit get crazy. I'm like, definitely gets fucking crazy. So we never really planned to get up. It was just like, oh, I'm gonna see you. You're gonna be at my job. But that was it.
And is this a cousin you're referencing on the mother or father side of the family?
This is one of those cousins that's your cousin that's not your cousin. Because y'all parents just grew up together and they was best friends before you came in the picture. So she's like my extended cousin. But I'm glad I took her advice. Not to say that anything would have happened, but anything could have happened. And yeah.
So just for further clarification, this last correspondence you had with him 3 weeks prior to his passing, was that a text conversation, FaceTime conversation, verbal conversation on the phone?
It was a text conversation. Yeah.
And don't know if you've answered this question already through the other questions here, but going to formally ask you just in case you haven't honed in on it. And if you have, then we'll move forward. But what was Dolph really like?
He was cool. He was funny. Like, I think that's why the relationship was just organically friend zones, because I think I just looked at him as the homie and he just looked at me like, shit, as the homie, like probably one of the niggas for real, because I mean at the time I was dating women, so that's something that we both had in common, and we just used to crack jokes all the time, just about little dumb shit, and honestly, truly, I think that over the years that I knew him, once he seen how serious I was in my situation with the female I was dating at the time, it never went past a friendship. It never was uncomfortable for me. It was never anything sexual or anything like that. I think we just really had a good, like, homie situation. Did it start out like that? Not so much. I knew that he was interested in me, and honestly, I just never been that girl to, like, deal with, like, celebrities. I don't know why. I just feel like they not genuine people. They just kind of seem real fake to me, like top layer. But when I met him, I'm like, damn, you're actually cool as fuck. Like, you're not like the people I thought you were. He was just cool as fuck. So we had a really great friendship, and I really hate that happened to him. And when it did happen, it hurt it crushed my little heart. I'm like, damn, that was my homie, that was my man. And every time I hear his song in the club, I'm like, I go so hard for him, because I'm like, I know you just like up there rocking out, like niggas is going so hard for your music. So yeah, he was a cool guy. I wish I had got a chance to actually physically sit down and kick shit with him. But I just never took him up on any advances or any opportunities, just for like safety reasons, honestly.
How were you notified he had passed?
I seen it on Instagram. And it was crazy because it was like when it happened, like all these girls came out the woodworks. Like, I used to talk to him and I used to date him. And I'm like, that's not nothing to brag about. Especially now that man's gone. He has like a wife and children. Like, this is not the time to talk about that. But I mean, shit, y'all know how niggas are. They don't care. They got options.
Do you have a favorite memory of him you'd like to share with the audience today?
One time, me and I call her my sister, Renni Rucci. We were in the club and we were listening to his song, and I had recorded us and I sent it to him. I'm like, yeah, we in the club, we lit, we fucked up, like we listening to your shit. He was like, that's that shit. And it was a dope little time because we really was going hard for his shit in the club. And I'm like, see, they fuck with you in Dallas. They love you in Dallas. And he was like, yeah, y'all going hard. So, yeah.
Now, were you dancing with Renni?
Me and Renni actually did dance together. We danced together in South Carolina. At that time, we weren't dancing. This was after we had left the club. But yeah, Renni is my really good sister. We danced together in Columbia, South Carolina at a couple of clubs there. Leroy's, Mr. Lucky's. So it's a great time to be alive.
And just using the phrase sister, not biologically related.
Not biological sister, no.
Now, what's the best advice you received from young Dolph, or most important thing you learned in your long-distance relationship, digital relationship, however way you want to phrase that, if anything?
Honestly, if you ever sat down and listened to his music, he'd really be talking some shit. So we honestly talked about his music a lot. Like, well, I got some new music coming out. Oh, like, I'm gonna let you listen to this song. And I'm like, damn, bro, you are, like, really a cool-ass nigga. Like, in one sentence, wish I did take the opportunity to link up with him. But in the same sentence, like I said, I'm kind of glad I didn't because anything could have happened. But I definitely would have loved to experience his energy, like just to catch the vibe, just to see if it like matched up to what I have known of him just through text conversations, being on the phone with him and stuff like that. But I don't know, his music just kind of hit different. It's not just for hood niggas. It's not just for trap niggas. It's just for niggas that got stories. Like, really just rapping about shit you experienced and that you seen. You really just telling a story in your life. So I wouldn't say I learned anything from him or necessarily took anything from him, but just listening to his music just kind of allowed you to get to know him as a person. And not just, like, the mainstream, oh, he's a rapper. Like, listen to his old shit. Listen to the shit that's not on the radio. Like, then you really gonna get to know him.
Anything else you want to mention about Dolph or question you weren't asked? People want to know about him as well.
Not really. I just think that from what I knew of him, I think he was a cool-ass person. I loved his music. I still listen to his music to this day. And I think that he made a stain on the rap community, and I love that for the culture. I think he was a great piece of the culture that is highly missed, and his music was just original. Nobody had his sound. Nobody was doing what he was doing. So, yeah.
And are you still on Snapchat today?
I am on Snapchat today, but it's funny. I thought Snapchat fell off, but Snapchat is like a whole new community now. Like, the fucking big content creators on YouTube are on Snapchat and making fucking millions of dollars. And I'm like, damn, do I need to, like, be on Snapchat more or something? I'm like, Snapchat then came back and made a fucking return.
Care to share your screen name there?
Egypt_Cario.
Now, did you ever create a premium Snapchat back then? Were you part of that Snapchat After Dark wave?
Okay, so I was definitely a part of the Snapchat After Dark wave. I never made a premium. But I did get kicked off Snapchat one time because I didn't know you couldn't promote OnlyFans. So I posted a video, and then I put my OnlyFans link on there, and they took my fucking Snapchat. And they were like, that's part of our guidelines. You can't get on here promoting other shit. And I'm like, who the fuck reads those terms and conditions? We just scroll to the bottom and click accept. And clearly that was in the fine print. And yeah, they dubbed my shit. And I think I probably had like, I don't know, probably like 4,000 or 5,000 followers then. And like for Snapchat, that's a lot. So, yeah. They took my shit and I had to start over. And once I started over, I was like, fuck this. I'm not doing all of that no more. It's not worth it. That was a lot of hard work getting on Snapchat and making a name.
It wasn't a timeout they put you in. They literally
took it. took it. And Instagram's kind of getting like that too now. I realized that when I post certain stuff, like for instance, like TikTok, Instagram don't fuck with TikTok. They'll start banning a lot of your stuff if they see TikTok tags on Instagram. And then my OnlyFans tags, I noticed that my shit gets shadow banned so much when I put anything sexual on my fucking story feed. So yeah. I was gonna say some wild shit about Instagram, but Instagram helped me get a lot of money, so I love Instagram.
So, have you ever been reprimanded on Instagram?
Listen, my account could go at any day. I have fucked up so many guidelines on Instagram. I'm literally like appealing fucking 17 cases on Instagram right now. They're just so fucking picky. Instagram is not what it used to be. Like, they literally see like a little bit of areola. They're like, nudity, sex, pornography. And I'm like, this is natural, you guys know, right? But I get it. There are kids on Instagram. But honestly and truly, should your fucking kids be on Instagram? If you're like 7 years old, I shouldn't even be on your timeline. So, yeah, I'm fighting a lot of charges on Instagram right now.
But never had your account taken?
Never had my account taken. I have been shadow banned. I have been unable to get on Instagram Live for months at a time. But never actually taken. Nope.
Haven't been able to get on Instagram for months at a time. You were in timeout, so to speak?
So I could get on there, but then there were messages like, certain people can't see your content. I'm like, well, those are the fucking people I want to see my content. So now I can't make the money that I used to make because the people are not seeing me. So at that point, it's like, fuck this. I mean, my backup page is not as popping as my main page. So I was like, all right, fuck it. I'll sit in timeout for a little bit.
Do you want to share the backup page for those in the audience just in case?
So the backup page is Egypt_Cario 2222. 4 2s. Yeah, Instagram is just fucking so many guidelines these days. Can't cuss. Can't say certain words. I think I was arguing with a bitch on Instagram and I told her to hang it up. They said that was like racist because I said hang. I'm like, hang it up. I could have said hang up a TV. Yep.
Anything else on the topic of Snapchat or Instagram?
Instagram was fun when it was just taking pictures and just getting likes. And, you know, back then when you seen on your like page who was liking what and when they was liking it, when your dirt was being exposed, now everything gets sent to silent request on the side. That's where niggas is doing their dirt at, or Finsta. But I fuck with Instagram. Instagram kind of made me who I am. If it wasn't for Instagram, I don't know if Egypt Cario would be sitting in front of you guys right now. So, yeah, shout out to Instagram.